everybody, my name is Amanda and long time no see. I've been working non-stop all summer. And then me and my friends went on the Trans-Siberian Railway and there we didn't really have any internet, so that's one explanation. And then I've been moving as well, so now I am finally back in Glasgow and I have a new apartment and it is so nice. I'm in love with it. And yeah, so now when things start to get into that routine again, I hope that I can keep this up and just give you guys nice content to give you some tips and tricks for university, for the IB. And today we are actually talking about the TOK presentation for the IB diploma program. And it is a big thing to worry about because if they haven't changed anything, which I don't think they have, that is about 30% of your grade in TOK, and it is important. Me and my group, we actually got almost full marks for our presentation, and I have, with their help, compiled a few tips and tricks on how to do really well and how to work your way around obstacles and that sort of thing. So without further ado, let's jump into it. The first thing I'm going to mention is Tim Wood's blog, and he is an invaluable source for your TOK essay and presentation. He has provided you with a really nice structure on how to structure your slides and that sort of thing, and it was so helpful when we did it. Of course, you do have to adapt it to whatever you're talking about, but having that as a framework was, like I said, invaluable. So I would really recommend it, and I will leave a link to it in the description. And if you're doing any sort of TOK structuring thing, I would really recommend looking at his website just to kind of give you some inspiration at least. So the next tip I have is where many people go wrong with the presentation, and that is that you have your real life situation and your knowledge question, and your presentation is not there to answer the knowledge question definitively at all. I mean, you don't even have to provide an answer. What the presentation is practically a discussion surrounding your knowledge question from different angles. Therefore, you don't want to answer it definitively because that will show your examiner that you might have not done your research properly, or you haven't attacked the problem from all angles. So see the presentation more as a discussion of your knowledge question than a way to answer it. So how do you then do that? Well, that's the big question, isn't it? And that's where Tim Wood's blog comes in handy, because he has a framework on how to make sure that you get your multiple areas of knowledge in there, that your presentation won't become one-sided. Therefore, you want to make sure that you find examples where your knowledge question is confirmed and where it is not confirmed, so you have that nice discussion going on. So when it comes to your real life situation and your knowledge question, make sure that you talk about something that you're actually interested in. I mean, you're gonna spend a lot of hours working on this presentation, and it has to be something that you're genuinely interested in. But with that said, make sure that it actually does fit the criteria and that there's enough to talk about surrounding it, because you don't want to stand there and just kind of go on and on about the same thing without really getting anywhere. So make sure that you have a knowledge question that you're interested in, but do talk to your teachers to make sure that it does suffice, that you can attack it from different angles, because when you settle on your question, like, that's what you're gonna go with, and it has to be quite a good one, I'd say. When you have figured out what real life situation you'd like, that's when you can start extracting your knowledge question from that real life situation. And make sure that your knowledge question is a question about knowledge, that it is abstract, that it does not have a direct answer. And make sure that it has nothing to do with your real life situation, just that there is a clear link. But you don't want to make your knowledge question about your real life situation. There's a fine line there, but I would definitely say that the more abstract your knowledge question is, the better it is to explore from different areas of knowledge, not just explore it from the angle of your real life situation, if that makes sense. There's a lot of trial and error here, and there again is where your teacher comes in. But make sure that it is quite abstract, that it has that clear link to your real life situation without being about your real life situation. Just to give you an example from what we talked about the Swedish Queen Christina, who abdicated to Catholicism in I don't know what year. And before, when you used to read about Christina, all you heard about was her abdication, she becoming a Catholic and that sort of thing. But now, today, when people talk about Christina, they talk about her almost as a trans woman who she was brought up as a king, not a queen. So the focus of history has moved from religion to gender, and therefore we extracted the knowledge question: to what extent is knowledge dependent on culture? And there we could discuss that from a mathematical point of view, from a historical point of view, but that did take us a really long time, and we had a lot of difficulty trying to figure out how to word our knowledge question properly in order to make it as approachable as possible. Then just some general things to think about, like exactly the same with your essay, and that is that do make sure that you get your terminology in there, get your areas of knowledge, get your ways of knowing. That is what the examiners are looking for. They look for you to use those specific TOK words, and therefore if they hear those words, they will automatically think more favorably of your presentation. And just make sure that in the beginning of our presentation, and I think Tim Woods mentioned this in the structure, just make sure that you do define your key terms. Make sure that you really explain what you mean with your knowledge question, because when we did ours, we had to talk about what is knowledge, what is culture. So make sure that you define your key terms and really deconstruct your knowledge question so it's very easy to understand. And finally, you might be nervous. I was really nervous about ours, but we got like a really high table, which really helped, because when you just stand there with maybe a paper in your hand, you can really start shaking, and that just makes everything worse. So we got a really like high table and then put the papers on there so you could still like stand straight and still like read from your paper if you needed your remembrance words and all of that. So I would recommend making sure that the environment where you are presenting is as good as possible for you to feel comfortable, and then just kind of go for it. Like, good luck to all of you out there, and I'm sure that you'll do great. Just put some time into it, because we had a lot of people who just kind of showed up not prepared at all, and I'm sure that showed in their grades as well, because you can tell who is prepared and who isn't. So do prepare in advance, and just good luck. And I would love to hear if you have any other tips, if you have done your presentation, if you have not, what are you thinking about it? I would love to know. So I'm hoping to make these videos a bit more regular, and it will be both like a flat tour maybe, and a bit about the courses I'm doing this year. But I still wanted to get this video out there because it is very highly requested, and I know that I have been really bad with answering emails, but I do really want you to like email me if there's anything you're wondering about. There have been a lot of extended essay questions that I will actually make a video about, because I feel like a lot of people go wrong in the same areas. So that's what I'm gonna do. And yeah, do drop me an email if there's anything, and I will get to it. I'm sorry for being a bit slow with it though. So thank you all of you for watching, and good luck with your TOK presentations, and I shall see you in another video. Bye!